What's going on, guys? It's been a while. I missed you. How you doing? Welcome to Mythgard. This is a brand new digital collectible card game by the developers Rhino Games. It is currently in a closed beta, but will be entering open beta very soon. How soon? September 19th soon. So by the time you're watching this video, it'll already be out and you can try it out for yourself. But in any case, this is a free-to-play collectible card game that will be coming out on Steam as well as Android and iOS devices. It is set in a fantasy world, but not your typical fantasy world of sword and sandals, but rather where myth and reality combine in a modern world. So essentially think of it like the Dresden Files book series meets cyberpunk. Think of dragons flying alongside aeroplanes, or my personal favourite, werewolves wielding miniguns. Heck yes. So very cool theme going on here, but let's take a look at what's available in this beta. Now, there are a lot of modes for a beta here. We have melee mode, which is a 2v2 constructed, which is very nice to see. We don't often see 2v2 modes in card games, so very neat to see that. We have the ranked PvP constructed, which is where the players who like to climb a monthly ladder can do so with their top meta decks and compete against other players who are competing with their top meta decks, slowly crawling up the ladder. You know the deal. You have casual PvP constructed. We also have the puzzle mode, which is what I like to call the find lethal mode. This is where we can go and solve a couple of puzzles and try and learn the more intricate strategies of playing this game. We have the story mode, which I'm a big fan of. I love to see single player campaigns in my card games, and I haven't finished it yet, but from what I have played, it's very cool and does a really good job in setting up the world and the theme which this game is set in. We have Brawl, which is PvE constructed, so basically build a deck and play against an AI. We have the Gauntlet mode, which is a draft mode against AIs, which is what I love to do. I've already played in this mode a couple of times because I just love chilling out, watching Netflix while I'm slinging cards at my AI opponents. So yes. And then you have the PvP version of that, which is draft a bunch of cards, build a pile of cards called a deck, and throw it up against other players who have done the same thing. So a lot of modes for a beta, so very good. Now, before I show you exactly how this game works, let's have a look at the economy. Now, it is a free-to-play, but usually that means there are options here to bypass the free-to-playness of a game. So what that means, you tell me. Now, before we have a look at this, I want to direct your attention to this up here. Now, first one number here is the booster packs that I've earned. And that just demonstrates how good I am at holding back from opening packs of cards. Gee, aren't I good? Anyway, so I've got 3 booster packs to open. We've got Essence, which is essentially the dust or gems in this game. So basically we can use Essence to craft cards directly in the collection. Or we can destroy cards in our collection to create Essence in order to spend on cards that we'd rather have. We have the freemium currency, which is coin. Now, if you are a free-to-play kind of gamer, this is the currency that you're going to be most focused on. Now, as you can see here, a core pack is worth 1200 coin. Now, we gain coin from just playing the game. When you play against a real player or against the AI, you will gain some coin in return. Now, generally, you gain more from playing against real players than you do against AI, but yeah, you can gain coin just by playing the game, and there are other ways, which I'll get to in just a moment, to gain the free currency of coin. Now, the premium currency is mithril. Now this is what we spend real money on. Now as you can see here, a core pack is worth 150 mithril. We can buy with real money 300 mithril for $3. So that would get us 2 card packs for $3. Or if we really want to, we can buy big bundles of mithril. This is essentially the booster box amount here, and that will allow us to buy tons and tons of packs of cards essentially. So that's the premium currency. Now the freemium, as I mentioned, you can gain just by playing matches in this game, or there are also missions. So this is where our daily challenges appear. As you can see here, if I deal 100 damage to players, I will gain 500 coin. Now these refresh. This one will be available in 1 day from now. This one will be available in 2 days from now. Now we have the weekly chest as well. Basically what this is when you play against AI or against real people, you have a chance of getting an emblem, and when you get 5 emblems, you get to open a chest. I have not been able to do that yet, but I'm sure that the rewards are quite nice from this chest here. Now each day, every time you win, you also gain a random single card, so you can build your collection up slowly that way too. We click on achievements here, we've got a bunch of other ways that we can gain coin as well. Let me go back. We also have level rewards, so when we play matches we gain experience as well as as well as coin, and experience will go towards our overall level. When we level up each time, we gain a reward. So for example, when I get to level 8, I will get 250 essence as well as a portrait for my profile, and another thing that I don't really want to explain just yet. But yeah, so as you can see, there are ways to grind in this game for free, if you are a free-to-play gamer. Alright, now let's just jump into a game against the AI so I can show you how the game works in terms of its actual gameplay. Now, the first thing to note is there is no mulligan system in this game, so the cards we get dealt in our opening hand are what we have to deal with. Now, opponent's is going to take his turn, which is fine because I can use that time to explain what's going on here. So there's no mana cards in this game. There's no mana system either where each turn our mana will tick up. Instead, we gain resources by burning cards. Now, I said burning in air quotes, not realizing that I don't actually have a video feed, so you can't actually see the air quotes, so you'll just have to believe that I am in fact air quoting when I say burn. Now, how do we burn a card? Well, we drag it out into, we don't drag it out, we drag it down here into this little bar. When that happens, the card will get burned and get reshuffled into our deck, and we will gain 1 mana as well as a yellow gem. Now, if you look at a card, at the top left hand you have the resource cost, which on this one is 3, and then you have 2 yellow gems. So there's 2 resource systems in this game. There's the mana and the gems. I'm just calling them gems because they could be called something else, but whatever. So to play this card, I'd have to have 3 mana and 2 yellow gems, but as you can see, I only have 1 mana and 1 gem. Now, we gain a gem every time and a mana every time we burn a card. We can only burn 1 card per round, but we need to have, so if I burn this one, I would get 1 red gem down here. As you can see, it costs 2 red gems to play plus 3 mana. So the only card I can play right now is the Maze of Yatiku. Now, it is a defender, which doesn't mean anything right now because I haven't explained the actual battlefield system, but it also has an action where if you sap 3 life from it, you get to draw a card, and at the start of your turn, it gets +0/+1. So let's go ahead and play that here. Now, where you play, you'll notice here that there are 7 emblems or runes here. Now, these are different lanes. The lane system here is very important to the overall strategy of the game. Where you play a minion means a lot. So, it's hard to describe here because this guy can't really attack, but a minion can generally only attack or defend the opposing 3 lanes, so these 3 here. And same with this guy, he can only attack this lane, and this lane. So as you can see, if I were to put an enemy here, he would be able to attack into my face, and then my minion would also be able to attack into his face unless he played a minion in one of these opposite 3 lanes. So I'm just going to pass the turn and see what the opponent does. So he can't actually attack my total health. I lose if I get to 0, and I win if I can get my opponent down to 0. So it looks like he's played this little crane girl, which is a very creepy looking card. So basically, it can, as you can see here, when I hover over this card, the 3 lanes that it can attack into become highlighted in red. But because my card is here, neither of these can attack my health unless they have agile. So this one does have agile. This means that it can attack. It can ignore attacking and blocking restrictions, which means that it can attack directly into my face. Okay, so now that it's my turn, let's go ahead and burn another card that we don't really need. Now, we can't really play either of the red ones for now, but we could play this one. So I'm going to go ahead and burn this expensive yellow card. That's going to allow me to play this water enchantment card. By many falls, I don't know. What a enchantment does is it enchants a lane. So if I put it here, as you can see, this lane is now enchanted, and it says occupying minion has regen 2 at the end. So regen 2 is at the end of its turn, restores 2 health, and then when a minion is created in this lane, gain 2 life. So they're very handy to have. They stick to the board. There are ways to remove them through specific cards, but generally creatures cannot get rid of them. So that's it for my turn. Let's pass the turn, and as you can see, it regenerated a health because of my my enchantment. Now that had agile, so it attacked directly in my face, and this guy had to attack this. Academy recruitment. This allows create plus 1/1 cadets in 3 friendly adjacent occupied unoccupied. So they've got a lot of dudes on the board right now. So this is probably like a what do you call it? A mini token deck or something like that. So again, I'm gonna burn something that I can't really play right now. Now I don't have to burn this one because all I need to do to pay for Meso Libre is I've already got the 2 yellow gems. I just need 1 more resource. So let's burn Blood Moon. That allows us to play Meso Libre, which in turn will stun a minion in the opposite lane. So let's play it there. As we played it there, these 3 token cadets have to attack into my big enemy. So let's end the turn there, I think.
Stay calm.
This lurker. Enemies must attack other blocking minions before a lurker. Okay. And then if you pay 3 green mana, give another minion -3 attack, -0 health until your next turn. Okay. Okay, so here's something kind of cool. Now I can deal with a lot of these enemies. What I'm gonna thanks to these magmators. So what I'm gonna do is in order to play magmator, I need another red gem. So I'm gonna burn this dashing ringmaster. Next turn, I didn't quite count properly, but next turn I'll be able to play the magmator. So for now, I think we'll just play the Meso Libre here. I'm going to stun because of his ability, this one, and he's essentially going to be blocking this one for forever. Now you can actually move a minion. Now I can't really do it here, but with this one, I can spend that minion's action for the turn to move them across a lane, which is handy. So even though you play a minion in a lane, doesn't mean it's stuck in that lane forever. Let's just deal with one of these. We'll deal with that one. And then that's it. So we'll pass the turn. Actually, I probably could have drawn a card, but whatever. Thanks to the ability here. Oh, 0-3 and shuffle. Oh. What's that? Transform enemy into 0-3 hollow and shuffle it back into its owner's deck, removing all of its abilities. Radio. So, let's burn one of these again, and that allows us to play Magmator. Now, Magmator has a Awaken ability. What Awaken does, when it enters ability, the effect triggers. So, when it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to minions in the opposing 3 lanes. So if I put it here, it's going to kill both of these minions. Excellent. And then I'm going to use this one to kill this one. So slowly I'm clearing the board, and as you can see, there is nothing blocking them. This Mace Libre, so I'm going to attack face. Excellent. End turn. Now with burning, you can only burn a card once. Once it's burned, it gets shuffled back into the deck, and it can be redrawn again, but when it's redrawn, it will usually have a faded look to its border or something like that. That means it cannot be burned again. What do we got here? Draw 3 cards and lose 3 health. That's pretty good for red. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill this dude with my Magmator. Then that means my Mesa Libre can attack foes. Now I'm gonna play Magmator, and that's gonna kill almost all the other enemies. Now because I did that, it frees up these 3 lanes, and now this guy can attack. Excellent. Okay, so you can see here, this is a card that I burned early in the game. It looks a bit more faded. That means I cannot burn it. See? Oh, the card has already been burned. Yep. So instead, if I were to burn this card, it would then allow me to play this, because now I have 6 resources and I have the 3 yellow gems. Before I do that, let's just kill this. Now the board is entirely clear. My opponent doesn't have any cards in my hand, so card advantage is very important in this game, like with Magic the Gathering Arena. Let's chuck it there onto that. That'll gain me some life. So I gain 3 life from this guy's Awakened, and then I gain an extra 2 from this enchantment. So that's very cool. That's it for the turn. I can't attack with anything, no. Burn a card and pass the turn. Okay, looks like we've got this in the bag. So let's attack with everything, because why not? There you have it. That's how Mythgard is played. So from winning that, I get 50 coin. I get my free random single card to add to my collection. Again, you get 3 of these a day. I get 50 experience and progress towards this daily challenge. Excellent. Now main menu. So I'll quickly show you before we conclude this video. We'll open a pack so you can see what that's like. And you know, card openings is content, isn't it? I think. So 6 cards per pack. Now I think there's 1 rare or mythic per pack. There is a few a few commons and a few uncommons. So this is a common, as denoted by this grey symbol here. This is an uncommon, denoted by this brownie symbol. And then what's our rare? Our rare is this one, and that has a yellow symbol. Now if it's blue, that means it's mythic, the highest rarity. Okay, that's fine. So that's that. Now, if I'll show you the collection as well, because I think it's important to see just how many cards in this game, in the core set of this game. So if I click on filter own cards and scroll down, these are all the different cards that are available in the core set. So this is definitely a highlight to see this amount of cards. This means that there's plenty of decks to build, plenty of different strategies to explore. Very cool. And as you can see, there's some dual colored cards as well. Now, brief overview of the colors. Now, each of these colors is meant to represent a different worldly mythology. So I know, for example, that blue is based on Nordic mythology. So you have Valkyries, which essentially are a biker gang in this world, which is kind of cool. So there's blue. You have yellow, which is Aztec mythology. Yep. So, and then you have red, which I can't remember what this is based off, but this is the aggressive kind of one. This deals fire to stuff. They have a lot of vampires and minotaurs and stuff like that. So that's red. We have green, which is where my werewolves are at. This is sort of like a real Russian themed kind of group. So you have, you know, my dudes, the Volkov, which are werewolves essentially. So that's a color I'm really excited to explore. We have orange and we have purple, which is very cool because it's very you know, shinobi, so very ninja and stuff like that. It was very cool. So that's that. Now let's go back out of there. Anything else to look at here? I don't think so. So we'll just close out. But before I do, I do want to give a brief impression of this game. Now, I think this game is quite good. I think this game has a lot of legs. I don't think it'll ever become big like Magic the Gathering Arena or Hearthstone. It won't be a tier 1 card game, but I think it has enough going for it that I could easily go up against games like Elder Scrolls Legends or Eternal as like a tier 2 collectible card game. So I think we're looking at a very promising card game here for the digital space. Now, what are some of the things I loved about this game? Well, the skill ceiling for this game is quite high. For those who are looking for a real skillful card game to get into, this could very much be it. The lane system on the battlefield is very intriguing. It's like a jacked up version of the Elder Scrolls Legends lane system. So there's a lot of choice and strategies to learn and master in where where minions are played and defending and all that. So a lot of stuff to sort of whet the appetite of those who are looking for a real heady game that's maybe not on the same level of Magic the Gathering, but also not as simple as something like Hearthstone. Now, something else I really love, the large amount of cards in this core set is fantastic. Definitely adds a lot of ways to explore different deck builds, different strategies, different styles. Very good. Love seeing a gigantic core set. Another good thing is the amount of modes. You know, having 8 different modes in a beta alone is fantastic. This is great. Nothing else to really say about that. Something else I love, the theme and the story that's backing this game's art and concept is really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do with this world. So what don't I really love about the game? Okay, I don't love the fact that there's no mulligan at the start of a match. Now I get what they're trying to do because there's no mana cards or you know, mana system in the game, and there's only 40 cards in a deck, I think. It means that you're not going to get like mana screwed or mana flooded or anything like that. Now I see that they sort of saw that and think we don't need a mulligan system, but I still think you do. it still sucks when you're playing a aggro deck and all of a sudden your opening hand only includes the 3 and 4 cost cards, you know. That sucks. Even though, you know, you can get to those costs guaranteed because your cards are your mana, or your resources, it still kind of has that bad luck system. So I don't think they were completely able to avoid that aspect of the card game. Yeah, the other thing I think that could use a little work is the economy. It feels a little bit stringent at the moment. Yes, you can gain coins, the freemium currency, fairly easily, but it still feels like it takes too much time and too much grind to earn enough for just one pack. I would like to see the developers allow players to earn at least one free pack very easily every day, you know, whether that's a login reward or even just win the first match of the day and you get a pack. That would be so much better and would go a long way in helping players who are new to the game not feel overwhelmed with the prospect of having to slowly build up a collection that's gonna allow them to win. And at the moment, it just feels like it favours the whales of the gaming industry a little bit too much. But yeah, like I said, I think this game has a lot going for it. I definitely think you should check it out if you're a fan of card games. Now, if you want to check it out, all you have to do is go to mythgardgame.com, or you can wishlist it on Steam, and definitely head on to the Discord channel for the game. It's got a very lively community over there. I will link everything in the description, but for now, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I will catch you in the next one, but until then, guys, remember, be good, and if you can't be good, be careful. Bye, guys.